our founder claims, this right here is an embodied form of the violet ray spectrum.
Tap in and tune in Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Grand Rising with ChristoLight, your sacred space for discovering the Ascended Masters in crystal healing. Ashe.
From ancient alchemy to modern wizard sagas, a blue flame shows up whenever truth or transformation is near.
Time matrix. So that probably answers it for a lot of us that have been maybe curious about what the 144 really means in its origin through the Emerald Covenant. And I'm sure some of us naturally in our DNA and through our life have felt integrity when they call upon El Moria in the first blue ray. The blue kyanite, sweet Archangel Michael, the amethyst order of the ancient master builders and architects that are stemming from the Master Christo's collection through Newgrange, Ireland, which is a Mother Ark Stargate. Kuan Yin, Mary Magdalene, Archangel Chamuel, Saint Germain, Archangel Zadkiel, Paul the Venetian. And if you want to, you can take a rose quartz or a fluorite, place it on the higher heart, right below the throat, hold it there, and then you can go ahead and take an amethyst. People be on it. But all you have to do is just click on one of these. So you click on Set a Master's Retreat, then it'll take you to the registered form. Then you just go ahead and fill out your the Raw Confederacy that exists in the 7 higher heavens in the next universe and contacts us through the gold ray of the 14th dimensional star. This sound frequency from the 14th dimension that goes by Ra. So Ra is a sound octave vibrational tone. So the Golden Eagle grid is one of our main planetary grid networks, and it is located in Iraq. And what's interesting is you've seen continuous wars when it comes to the Gold Order and the Yellow Flame. Quetzalcoatl, Yeshua Christ, Anubis, Archangel Jophiel, Lord Lantu, Cthulhu, and Lao Tzu. So then what you can do is you can take your crystal for your yellow ray or golden order energy, like a tiger's eye. Go ahead and hold down your solar plexus with your hand.
Tap in and tune in Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Grand Rising with ChristoLight, your sacred space for discovering the Ascended Masters in crystal healing.
Hello, everybody. Happy Monday and Grand Day. Welcome to a fresh new episode of Grand Rising with ChristoLight. We are going to be exploring the first ray of the 7 and 12 dimensional rays of light that make up our universal 12-dimensional time matrix that we are incarnated a part of. So, along with that, I just want to refresh you guys on what this beautiful journey has been like so far as we are moving into our 3rd week of this brand new live television online series. And a little bit about what we've explored is back during the very beginning 2 weeks ago, and you guys can find this on the playlist if you go to the YouTube channel. Sacred Light Broadcast Network. Go to playlist or podcast, and you can find this all in order from the beginning until now. But the first episode, we talked about the 15-dimensional universal time matrix. And we got to talk about what this holographic particle matrix is that we are a part of, along with its relationship with the phantom matrix, also known as the underworld, as well as the anti-particle matrix, which is known as the heavenly realms. So with that, we then learned about the first 3 sound octaves that make up our universal time matrix system. So as we learn in science, as we learn in math, as we learn in a lot of different things in our different teachings and history of life, is that we learn that the universe is made of sound. And then from sound, it's made from light. And then from light, the sound and light fractalizes into fractal forms. It continues to duplicate into different rays, octaves, and expressions, which then materialize into forms. So with all that being said, this is all coming from the one source creator. So everything comes from the primordial source of all, which is unexplainable to the human psyche and to the third dimensional perception, and really a lot of different perceptions, because it's all permeating infinite eternal energy. So it's really difficult to explain what that really is. But what we can explain, what we can study, and what we can attune to the original, organic, balanced truth is the knowledge and what is the blueprints of the balanced creation that we are a part of as a whole. Because if there wasn't a truth, if there wasn't real knowledge of what makes up what we are existing in, then how is it that we would exist, right? There has to be something that is true, that is eternal, and that is keeping the stability and foundation for us to be able to exist in this free will right now. Think about how we get to have full days of experiences. We experience the sun, we experience the moon, we experience the water, all the animals and birds, all of them in synchronization with the weather patterns, all the animals, the birds rising, every rising, chirping, the dew on the grass, the seasons, the fertility of the woman. You think about the way that we're able to make choices out of our free will, and then we're able to make another choice after that. We have these assembled bodies that we make choices with and go through change, but we're still here. We go to rest, we wake up, we have this body. We are this identity, so to say. So there's something to all this that is allowing us to be able to be what we are and to be it so consistently. That's the thing, is that we are consistently this. And that's pretty magnificent, I have to say. Not to mention the continuous change that takes place in our universe too. So that's what we're doing here, is we're diving into what are the blueprints? What is the real knowledge that is the backbone, the foundation, the eternalness that is allowing us to be able to do this, to exist and have free will. So with all of that, and yes, I am live for those of you that are not aware. I do play a lot of replays, but I am live currently right now in the flesh right here. So you guys can ask me questions if you have questions in the comments. You guys can interact with me throughout. I love interacting when I am live. So please utilize this moment and utilize the time when I am live with you to ask questions and engage. And also, I'm opening up for people to hop on as a guest as well during the lives. So that is something that you guys can do as well. And I can always drop the link in the comments for you guys. And you guys can hop on if you want to be a guest in the middle of the episode to talk about a little bit of this knowledge and empowerment, as well as ask questions. So yeah, again, so we studied the 15-dimensional time matrix in the first episode. And I'll just give you guys a little image and pull it up on the Grand Rising Lunar Queen. And welcome in, Mysterious. Have you unlocked your soul mysteries yet? Well, I've unlocked exactly what I've needed to get where I am today. And that's my best answer for you. I'm well aware of quite a bit. There's more to be aware of. So, I don't like to settle because I go through an experience or I go through a shift in my paradigm to believe that I experienced everything about my soul and I have every answer possible. So with that being said, I've discovered past lives of mine. I've discovered my soul lineage of my Lyran essence. There's many things I've discovered, but I'm not really here to talk about myself and what I've discovered on my journey. So this right here is just an image of the 15-dimensional time matrix. And when you look at it, it shows you the primal sound fields, which is the Ascended Master Realms. And those primal sound fields are outside of our 15-dimensional time matrix. So it's just pure sound and energy, no density. And then after that, that's when density begins. And it starts turning into the 3 primal light fields. This is where the threefold founder flame comes in. Have you ever heard of the threefold founder flame? This is the pink flame, the yellow flame, and the blue flame. And these are connected to the amethyst order, the gold order, and the emerald order. Then from there, the sound and light then starts beginning to fractalize into avatars in our 12-dimensional grid. And then from avatars to oversouls to souls, and then into materialized bodies. So you guys can find this. I'll have it in the description below for you guys to check out, so you guys can meditate with this and process, examine it as you feel at your own leisure, as it is great and valuable knowledge to pick up on. All right. So we just wrapped up talking about the threefold founder flame this past week. So we talked about the blue flame, and then we talked about the pink flame, and then we talked about the yellow flame. Blue flame associates with the emerald order. The pink associates with the violet or the amethyst order. And then the third, the yellow flame, associates with the gold order. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be venturing into the specific rays of light. So there's the threefold flame, and then it fractalizes into different rays of light. So today we're going to talk about the first ray, the blue ray.
I'm about to reveal the hidden energy behind the blue ray. Want to connect with divine will? This is where it all begins. The first ray of light, known as the blue ray, is pure electric energy. Think of it as the spark of divine will and power. It's all about courage, leadership, and taking action with clarity. If you've ever felt a surge of determination or a sudden push to break through barriers, you're feeling the blue ray at work. But you're not alone on this path. There are guides here for you. Archangel Michael, the ultimate protector, stands at the front, wielding his sword of truth. Then there's Master El Moria, a wise teacher who helps you align with your soul's purpose. These guides channel the blue ray, helping you step into your strength and face your fears. Ready to tap into this energy? The blue ray invites you to awaken your inner leader and trust in your power. Let's journey together, one ray at a time.
So that's the blue ray. That's the blue ray. You guys are probably familiar with the blue ray from Archangel Michael, Ascended Master El Moria, the Syrians, the Syrian blue ray beings, as well as maybe even water mammals as well. So we're going to clear the space out with a little bit of white sage. If you're not familiar with what white sage is a beautiful, natural, herbal plant of the Mother Gaia. And the sage leaves are really beautiful. It helps clear bacteria out of the air. It also helps clear the metaphysical energy. It helps reduce negative energy to bring more upliftment, clarity, and what you can call protection. The reason why it's called protection, though, is because it helps boost and clear the channels for your life force to be able to come through. And that life force is actually, ironically, that blue ray energy, God's will, the first ever force of wanting to exist and to continue to exist. That is God's will, so to say, the blue ray. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and do our self-scan, self-check-in. And then we're going to dive in to a little bit more about the blue ray, the specific ascended master and archangels that you can connect with. And then we'll also talk about the crystals as well. And we're going to go a little bit in depth about each that we go through so that you guys can get a nice, thorough understanding of what kind of archetype and energies you can connect with in these different ways with the blue energy. Because it's not going to be one size fits all. And it's also not going to be Archangel Michael does the same thing as El Moria and does the same thing as another figure as well. Different crystals have different purposes. You know, you have a lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli is going to have a different purpose from a Larimar. And that's going to have a different purpose than a ChristoLight. So with that being said, our self-scan, self-check-in, I just guide us with the breath. It's an intuitive, meditative, and introspective practice. I just guide us with the breath through our system. I'll take us through the mind, the mental body. We'll breathe through the mind to let go of attachments, negative thought forms. Then we'll breathe through the emotional body, releasing and letting go of stagnant or dense emotions. Or if we are out of balance and being overused by our emotions. And then we'll move to the physical body to help bring some breath of life into our physical ailments. This will be a short, brief practice just to open us up and get us centered. And then we will be navigating and moving into our education of the blue ray. So I'm about to pull out my throat chakra singing bowl. And of course, the throat chakra is going to be attuned to the blue ray due to the color and the frequency. And with that, I'm actually going to go ahead and add into the episode. I'm going to go ahead and add into the episode a brief education of what the throat chakra is for all of us. Then we can have an understanding of how to be in a conscious relationship with our Blu-ray throat chakra as well. A lot of beautiful things going on, guys. I gotta tell you, I've had some really beautiful sessions lately. I gave a crystal sound healing Reiki session to a wonderful friend of mine's mother last week, and it was just so beautiful to see, the tears and the shifting, the clarity, the feelings of peace within the body. I help alleviated back pain that she had been going through for a while. And all the way up until that session, she was dealing with that back pain. And then after the session, she no longer had back pain. And that was after just one session with me. So it's quite amazing what we can do with these tools, especially if we're open and willing to heal, which is a big key, is being open and willing to heal, because then our channels are open and our being follows that, and the universe does as well. Then I did a sound healing for the first time at a ecstatic dance in Cincinnati, and I played my handpan and sound bowls. And then this was in the same day, actually, it was on Friday. I had this kid come up to me, never met him before, it's the first time. And he said after I did the sound bowls, which was only like a 7 to 10 minute session, he said that his back pain was alleviated as well. So we're on to something here, and we're going to keep the momentum building and rolling. And with that being said, if you guys ever want one-on-one sound healing, Reiki, meditations, anything like that with me, feel free to reach out. I also teach about the chakras, crystals, and many other beautiful things. Grand Rising Dawn, good to see you. Shout out to Dawn, the owner of Sterling Seraph in Seraph by the River. That is a local here in Ohio crystal shop. There's 2 of them that she owns in the Hamilton area. And if you are in the Hamilton area, which is like Middletown, Hamilton, around like Springfield, or not Springfield, Springdale, Fairfield, areas like that, go hit up Sterling Seraph by the River. Those are amazing and awesome crystal shops. And not just crystal shops, but also herbal, blended teas, fresh and beautiful plants, as well as tinctures, lotions, candles, divination, all sorts of cool things like that. She welcomes the witchy crowd, the hippie crowd, and the galactic crowd. Anybody that resonates. The shifts are immaculate. Yeah, I definitely agree, Lunar Queen. Shoof. The shifts are immaculate. And if the shifts are immaculate for you right now, just think about the ways that you can use your tools and guidance or reach out for support to allow yourself to get into a space where you feel that it's immaculate. And just know that whatever you're feeling now, it's not forever, it's not permanent, and that you have free will. And by tapping more into this blue ray of light that we're speaking on today, that's how you access more of God's will. And when we're talking about God's will, you can substitute God for source, creator, Allah, Krishna, however you feel. But just know we're talking about the source here, the source of all existence. And this will is the spark that is the spark to existence that we're speaking on when it comes to God's will or the creator's will. So when we try to focus on getting more of this energy, all we're doing is initiating and activating more of what's already born within us, which is the will of the creator, because the creator brought forth the will to exist and experience itself. And then it started doing it through this 15-dimensional time matrix that we are currently a part of, plus other universes as well. And then we're in this 15-dimensional time matrix, and we are part of existence, which means we are the formed bodies of fractal expressions, illusions of the creator source. So with that being said, go ahead and get comfortable. You can sit, you can lay down, or you can just be moving and standing if you really have to. We got the throat chakra bowl. And we're going to do our self-scan. So I'm going to give you guys a moment, actually, and we'll be back in 44 seconds. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable, get ready, and we're going to go through the mind, emotions, and body with the breath of life and just guide our breath through these different aspects. All right. Let's go ahead and begin our self-scan, self-check-in for today. So go ahead and relax your body. Relax your shoulders down to the side. Relax your fingers and your toes. Have your feet nice and flat if you're sitting. And then relaxing the jaw, making sure that we're not clenching our teeth. And then you can close your eyes and start going within, focusing on the breath. Breathing through the nose, drawing the breath through the body, and then exhaling out of the mouth. So breathing in through the nose, expanding the stomach, drawing the breath down the body, then exhaling out of the mouth. All right, just continue to focus on the breath, continue to focus on this pattern, and we're going to guide it through the mind. Now beginning to focus on the mental body. Continuing to breathe, breathing deeply. So we now begin to focus on observing, not attaching. Do we have any negative thought forms that are continuing to loop and pattern inside the back of our mind? Is there any self-sabotaging thoughts, negative judgments, criticism that we are projecting upon ourselves or to others, or carrying from others? If so, may we continue to breathe, observe, and know that the breath is alleviating and dissolving these thought forms now. An affirmation that you can repeat at your wishing, at your own will. I am releasing these thought forms. They no longer serve, and I use my free will to alleviate and let go of these patterns and energies that no longer serve in my field. I am grateful for the experience, and I am continuing forward with my own will of the divine. And just feeling these energies alleviating and releasing from the mind as we feel more of the blue first ray filling the mind. We now begin to focus our breath into our emotional body, where we now observe our emotional vibration. Is our emotional vibration very dense, stagnant like? Is our emotional vibration dysregulated, overstimulated? Is our emotions full of pain, wounds, hurt, resentment, anger, frustration? If so, may we continue to breathe and begin to clear and dissolve these emotions as we clear our channels. All right, and with the breath, we now make our way to focusing on our physical body, beginning to breathe the breath of life into any of our physical ailments on the cellular, blood, muscles, ligaments, tissues, and bone levels. Breathing this infinite breath through all layers, remembering it's not bound to the physical, that it travels around and through all of our physical body as we breathe. Realigning our physical body with every breath and conscious thought. All right. So how was that self-scan, self-check-in for you guys? Feel free to comment and share. If you ever need to extend your time, please feel free to extend your time in any of those periods. You can take as many breaths as you need, take as much time as you need, whether it's on the mind, the emotions, or the body. Just know that you can be present with each level as much as you need every day. And you can do a self-check-in, self-scan on your own as well. Just another practice for the tool belt. Great for kids as well. So if you're like a single parent or a parent, period, or you work with a lot of children in the community, self-scan, self-check-in like that with the singing bowls and crystals and things like that, kids are really attracted to those things. So just think about how you can do that and introduce that to your family, your friends, your elders. I mean, it's great for seniors too, to take time to do a self-scan, self-check-in, where we just go within ourselves, breathe, focus on the mind, the emotions, the body, and just bring some self-care for a moment. So with that being said, let's get ready to dive into the blue ray of light. It's going to be pretty fun. I really look forward to this. But first, before we begin, coming up here in just a couple of weeks in Sedona, Arizona.
Get your tickets now for a rare, one-of-a-kind, multi-dimensional Lionsgate 8/8 retreat coming up in Sedona, Arizona at Camp Avalon, hosted by ChristoLight of Sacred Light from 8/6 to 8/9. Experience the powerful Lionsgate 8/8 portal, amplified by Sedona's legendary vortex energy. This retreat is your chance to align mind, body, and spirit during a time of deep awakening and transformation. Join ChristoLight for chakra balancing, Sarah for herbalism, Yuga for qigong, Aliyah for ecstatic dance, and Cher for orgonite technology, plus more healing flow shops with expert guides. Enjoy hiking Sedona's stunning landscapes, nourishing plant-based meals, and camping under the stars with a conscious community. Step into a safe, sacred space to connect, heal, and discover your multidimensional self. Embrace self-empowerment, vulnerability, and community as you shed old layers and awaken to your highest potential. Tickets: $188 for 1 day, $333 for 2 days, or $444 for all 3 days. Payment plans available. Register now with the link in the description or text Marcus at 513-238-5580 to reserve your spot.
So that is going to be coming up in Sedona for the Lionsgate portal. These tickets are still available and there's still a couple weeks. So don't feel like it's too late. There's plenty of time still. And if you need to do like a 2 payment plan or something, reach out and let me know, because I am super flexible. So I'd love to see you guys out there. Check this out too. My shirt today, representing the blue ray of will, flowing like water. We have Bruce Lee. I have to say Bruce Lee is an ascended master as well, for sure. The way that he imprinted this world. But yeah, it's my Bruce Lee shirt. I'll let you guys check it out a little bit. Pretty cool. Got the stick going on. And then today I'm also wearing a lapis piece. Good old lapis lazuli. What's some of your guys' favorite blue crystals of the blue ray? And we're going to be talking about the crystals here in a moment. All right, let me put some music on for us, and then we'll get started into our education. All right. So now into our education. All right, the 7 rays of light, and then it also goes to 12 as well. So not unlike our physical sun, the source of all visible light that can be broken up into its 7 component colors, the solar logos of our system too is a source of 7 great cosmic rays of spiritual light that can help accelerate our spiritual growth. Let me go ahead and put this on the bigger screen for you guys. There you go. That can accelerate our growth. These rays build up the casual body of man, and to each of them, there are various spiritual and physical qualities assigned. In this case, we can say that the term ray is used in a sense of one special type of force or energetic quality. These 7 great streams of energy represent each and every vibration in nature, space, and form, and they permeate all objects, all beings, and all events and manifestation. They interpenetrate each other and combine themselves in order to produce more complex system, which we refer to as quote-unquote reality. The 7 rays surpass the possible description by words or even by thoughts or feelings. They are too essential and all-encompassing to be limited within our narrow inner space of perception of the great spectrum of reality. Still, certain description of these rays is possible in terms of the corresponding qualities. Certain qualities of the rays can be also connected to the 7 chakras and to the crystals and the mineral kingdom. So yeah, just like as we talked about since day one, the different Ascended Master rays, as well as the different rays of light that come from the Ascended Masters, they then manifest into the lower dimensions, and then it connects to different chakras, crystals, and other dimensional forms. So now, the blue ray of light and the blue flame. So the blue ray is the first ray of light. The energy of this flame is the first and final synthesis, the source of all the other energies. The blue flame is in the core of the very strength and energy. The first ray is represented by the power of intent, cause, direction, centralization, and unity. And its keynote is will, divine will. And divine will is that eternal force that is eternally willing to exist. The basic qualities of the blue flame are manifested through the energies of power, strength, faith, and protection. The blue flame invocations should be performed mostly on Sundays, since this is the day when the irradiation of this ray is especially dominant. Its most prominent representative is Archangel Michael, whose magnificent appearance and presence has been preserved in the humanity's outer consciousness, if only unfortunately at its perpetrary. Elohim Hercules is also one of the representatives of this ray. Archangel Michael is the leader of the archangels and angels. With his blue flaming sword, Archangel Michael can free you from your quote-unquote bad karma. And when we say bad karma, what we're really saying is the density that we have accumulated through our cause and effect actions that have then binded us into what feels like attachments. And then those attachments, negative thoughts, things like that, that's the karma of our own actions taking place within our vessel. And then Archangel Michael with the blue will helps us release those energies and attachments, remembering that we are the eternal force, that we don't have to attach, but we can give ourselves grace, let go, and remember that we continue on. So negative energy and restraints that bind you to other people, situations, and memories of the past. He can give you your strength, power, and protection from the devastating thoughts, feeling, and deeds of others. Each day, Archangel Michael resides in the astral kingdom of the lower regions for about 22 hours, where he disperses hatred, envy, and fear. In this task, he is being aided by a legion of angels of the blue flaming sword. If someone is sending you negative thoughts or thoughts that confront your own will, your strength is going to weaken, and this can undermine your success in life. Kindly ask Archangel Michael to stand between you and the sender of those negative thoughts and to protect you. This is the way to turn the negativity into positive. Archangel Michael will make you braver and more resolute so that you can resolve your problems more easily. He will strengthen the will of God in you, as well as the power of faith. Both of these qualities will feed your inner strength, and your motivation is going to become noble and selfless. Encompass yourself with the sky blue light, the color of Archangel Michael and the ancient color of the blue flame. Let the blue ray heal you, increase your self-respect, strength, and energy, and let it protect you from all the negative things that come to you. The female side of Archangel Michael's divine nature is faith. Pray to Archangel Michael to be released from the emotional and other chains that bind you to other people and circumstances of life. Pray so that you can be filled with love and realize within yourself the power of light. Feel this light in your heart and contribute to building a bridge to freedom. On this path of angels, in this endeavor, you will get the help of Archangel Michael. Kindly ask him for help while having faith in yourself, because to him who knocks, it will be opened. Ask him to send his ascendant angels of protection to embrace you and your loved ones and all the constructive people on earth. Ask him to be released from all the thoughts that are not compatible with the untainted divine plan for you. No angel will come, no angel will interfere unless you ask him or her to come, as this is against the law of divine love, your free will. Whew. Wow. The representatives from the world of crystals for the blue ray connect with throat chakra, and then just a couple of crystals. We have sapphire, topaz, aquamarine, and we're going to go over a couple more as well. So that's the blue ray and the first ray of light, and it's also a little bit about Archangel Michael and the relationship that you can have consciously with Archangel Michael's energy as a representative of the blue ray of light. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the comment section. We're going to continue on. The blue ray. This is another website for another resource. This is the divinity's electromagnetic fire in the first sphere of both the great central spiritual sun and the casual body. The first blue ray brought the manifestation from the unmanifest. Additionally, it boosted the mantra, "Let there be light," that produced the Mahabindu, or the first light point. Furthermore, it outlined the ring past knot of the manifested universe. So virtues of the first blue ray: momentum, strength, power, courage, perseverance, daring or fearlessness, ability to make decisions. Personalities of the first blue ray generally act as presidents, political leaders, military personnel, and directors. People who have developed the blue ray but haven't developed their inner self may become ambitious, arrogant, inflexible, dominant, stubborn, or anger prone. Therefore, everyone who activates the blue ray must balance it with tenderness toward people, humbleness, tolerance, and patience. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful information to share. Really grateful for that. So with that being said, we're going to talk a little bit about the throat chakra. So the throat chakra is our direct energy center, portal gateway that makes up our human being. That is a direct connection to the blue ray. So these are the mental, emotional, and physical traits that this blue ray throat chakra brings into our human life. Now, the first traits are what it looks like when it's healthy, activated, and balanced. And then what I'm going to go over on the left side, the overactivations and blockages, those are what it looks like when we start manifesting imbalanced and dis-ease parts of the chakra. So the throat chakra, the mantra is Ham, H-A-M. Each chakra has a mantra, which is a universal tone that attunes the frequency of that center. Just like Om, which is for the crown chakra. So the traits, 741 hertz is the natural octave or frequency that it resonates at. So you can do 741 hertz sound healing to help reattune your blue ray throat chakra. That comes in tuning forks, singing bowls, as well as different frequencies online. Color is blue. So blue is also 741 hertz. And then it connects you to the physical health of your thyroid, your mouth, your jaw, your shoulders, and your neck. So each of the 7 chakras connect to different physical parts of your health. So then it also connects with your expressing of emotions and voicing your inner truth. It's also where we put forth our creative energy into masculine energy. So our creative energy comes from our root chakra into our sacral. Then we cultivate it up our chakras, and then we put it forth and express it into this world through our throat chakra. And it's also where we translate dreams into form. So just like how it's where we take our lower energy from the earth, it's also where we take our higher energy from the heavens, channel it down through the crown, third eye, and then voice it and express it through the throat chakra into the physical dimension. So this is also our discernment center. So this is the center where we process and take in the information and energy that we are experiencing. And it's where we begin to filter and discern if it's resonant for us to continue to store or to continue with, or if we should be rejecting, releasing, and letting it go. And this is important if you're a space holder or really just a human being, because you want to be able to feel intuitively within your throat chakra, oh, okay, this energy that they're giving out to me, this isn't for me. This is not healthy for where I am. Now I need to create a boundary, or I need to voice myself that this isn't aligned for me, or that I need something for my self-respect, things of that nature. You know, that's what discernment is being able to read the room, being able to read the other person that you're in a relationship with. You know, are they using you? Are they trying to sneak through and do different things, or are they really intentional and loving about what they're doing and saying? Pretty good to be in tune with as a practitioner or a client to a practitioner as well. Now, this is also where we translate. Okay, we already went over that actually. So, yeah, that's a little bit about the throat chakra when it comes to the traits of it. Now, overactivations and blockages. Overactivations is where it has become unconscious energy, and it's basically impulsive and it's taking over our consciousness. Blockages is where we're having a hard time accessing it Therefore, we are struggling and feeling the emptiness that could happen. So overactive, speaking over others, spilling out unmindfully. So that's like leaking all of your personal problems, airing out your dirty laundry, other people's, in spaces where it's just not appropriate. Being a space holder, being at a retreat, being at a one-on-one therapy session, you're supposed to be holding space for others, and they're here to go through their process. But instead, you just make it about yourself. You start talking about your problems. You start trauma bonding with them. You start talking about what you've been through because they brought up something. And now you're off on this track talking about yourself and what you've been through, and no longer talking about them and holding the space for them. So no care to listen. So this is when people just, they know everything. They're the one that is the guru. They have nothing else to learn. Everybody else is below them. That type of feel. Then dominating others' beliefs. So this is manipulation, control, trying to make others believe a certain thing or force people on their awakening, make people be the way that you are, things of that nature. Then blockages, having a hard time retaining or receiving information, cutting short receiving your own validation when people try to tell you about your abilities and give you gratitude and just give you a little bit of upliftment. Fear of expressing the truth and experiences. So whenever we're suppressing ourselves or we feel like we're rejected for voicing our truth or wanting to, then that can cause blockages in our throat chakra. And this can stem from previous lifetimes as well. All of these things, because it can carry in our conscious body of our soul. And with that, you know, we have like witch wounds. We have people that are fearful of speaking their truth because of abuse or because they've been shut down or they've had their social medias turned off, things like that. And then lastly, thyroid, mouth, sinus, and ears issues. So typically, if you're having a lot of sinus, thyroid, throat issues, those are going to be symptoms and signs that your throat chakra is going through a recalibration of some sort, whether it just had too much blockages, or it's been too overactive, or it's just going through an upgrade process. That's going to be related to your throat chakra, the sinuses, the throat, the ears, things of that nature. So I'll give you guys some foods and herbs as well to help connect you with the blue ray. Grapes, berries, eggplant, kale, plums, slippery elm, chamomile, eucalyptus, peppermint, clary sage, and rosemary. These are all wonderful herbs and foods that you can use to give you more of this blue ray of light that we have spoken on. All right. And again, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in there. We can talk about the throat chakra for a moment. So then from the throat chakra, we're going to go ahead and talk about crystals. 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 Okay. First crystal we have. We have ChristoLight. So ChristoLight I have right here. ChristoLight. ChristoLight comes in all different shapes and forms, of course. But we're going to read a little bit about ChristoLight. So, ChristoLight. The healing properties. It is believed to promote wisdom, clarity, and calmness. Emotionally, it is known as the Poet Stone. Enhances creative expression and emotional balance. Physical properties. It ranks between 5.5 and 6 on the durability scale. Helps with communication and self-expression. So it helps with improving communication and self-expression, making it valuable for personal development. And then chakra, throat, and the third eye, providing soothing energy. And it's very good for both aesthetic and metaphysical purposes. So that's the first one, ChristoLight. Next crystal we're going to talk about is going to be lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli is one of the OGs for sure, commonly known in Egypt. And let me show you guys. Well, actually, this lapis, I have a lapis heart right here. I'm also wearing a pendant as well. But yeah, this is the heart I have. Lapis lazuli heart. And I got this from Lunar Queen in her shop, organicsessencellc.com. Really nice stone. Very affordable prices as well. I'll be referencing here in a moment for you guys. But lapis lazuli. Physical properties. We'll move down into the metaphysical. So it helps with wisdom and truth. So it's known as the Stone of Truth. It is believed to enhance intellectual abilities, stimulate the desire for knowledge, and promote clarity of thought. Spiritual connection. It's associated with the third eye and the throat, facilitating spiritual awakening, enhancing intuition, and promoting clear communication. Emotional is thought to help alleviate stress, anxiety, depression, promoting balance and self-awareness. That's pretty cool. Good old lapis lazuli. Oh, I guess I'll go ahead and put this on the screen too. Talking about lapis lazuli for everybody that's just joining. Talking about some Blu-ray crystals. So it talks about here how it's valued since ancient times, particularly in Egypt, where it was used in jewelry, amulets, and pigments of cosmetics. It was also adorned in the tombs of pharaohs and was grounded in powder for using in arts. So it does help promote the balance of physical, emotional, and spiritual energies. So it's very popular for meditation and energy work, stone of wisdom and truth, and is highly cherished throughout history. Our next crystal is going to be blue topaz. Blue topaz. So you guys can do this anytime. Just go on your search engine and just type in the crystal and then meaning afterwards or properties afterwards. And then you'll be able to find out what any crystal is for yourself. So it helps with serenity, openness, and balance. Blue topaz. It helps with communication and honesty. It brings peace, calmness, and happiness, enhancing the intuition and self-assurance. It also promotes clarity and mental focus. making it beneficial for meditation and spiritual practices. It's a peaceful guide, helpful in individuals navigating life challenges with clarity and purpose. Blue topaz. And I have like a little container of them. I'll go ahead and show you guys a blue topaz. It's even got a warning label on it. Gotta be careful. Get that blue flame going. Blue topaz. All right. Next, we have labradorite. Labradorite. So labradorite. This is like the mystic stone. Labradorite. So labradorite is a mystical gemstone known for its powerful healing properties and is often associated with transformation and protection. It is believed to enhance intuition and spiritual awareness, making it a popular choice for those seeking to connect with their inner selves. Labradorite was created when a warrior freed the northern lights trapped in rocks. Additionally, it is thought to balance the third eye and promote clarity of thought with the throat chakra. Yeah, labradorite is so mystical. Like when you just look at it, I'm not sure how good it'll come through, but wow. Like when you really look at this thing, the way that it reflects the colors, I mean, it's so one of a kind. And this is just the regular labradorite. There's different colors like pink, purple. Such a beautiful stone. So I got this one gifted from a beautiful Cambodian white dragon family. And they gifted this stone as well as a black moonstone for me to have. And you guys can get your crystals through Lunar Queen of Organics Essence LLC, as well as if you're local in Ohio, here in Cincinnati area, Sterling Seraph in Hamilton. All right, we're going to now talk about Lemurian calcite. So Lemurian calcite, boy, maybe we'll have an episode where we talk about ancient civilizations like Lemurian Atlantis. But let's get into the properties of Lemurian calcite. So Lemurian calcite All right, we're back. Sometimes technology be technology, and especially during Mercury retrograde. So, anyway, we're back. Let me get this back on the screen for us. So, Marian calcite. Good. There we are. So it is a wonderful stone with many healing and metaphysical properties. It is highly useful crystal for people to become attuned with the spirit realm, communicate with their divine guides, and even develop one's psychic abilities. So it is mined in Argentina, and it's a nickname. It's also known as Lemurian, and it's said to connect us to the continent and the legend of Atlantis and Mu, Lemuria. Okay, so it connects us with Lemuria, just reminding us of Atlantis. But Lemuria was a highly advanced civilization just like Atlantis, and it was regarded as the cradle of humanity. You can also get Lemurian quartz as well. So let's talk about a little bit of its properties and what it can bring to us. So on the cellular level, Lemurian calcite promotes bodily balance, can help regulate the cell cycles. It's also good for insomnia, so it can help with insomnia, if you have sleep problems, holding one in the hand, or having it near your bed can help promote healthy sleep. So helps with stress, like fatigue, calming, anxiety, depression, focus, grounding, and kindness. So helps us move through traumatic wounds and still promote kindness and forgiveness. Metaphysically, it helps with clairvoyance, your dreams, spiritual guidance, past life memory recall, psychic abilities, attracting true love, connecting with spirits, spiritual development, Akashic record accessing, and astral travel. So that's a little bit about the Lemurian calcite that you guys can introduce to your life if you wish. All right, that's what it looks like. And then we're gonna move on from crystals, because it looks like the Wi-Fi is having a little hard time. So this is my Lemurian that I have right here, Lemurian calcite. Nice little square piece, little cube. And it's cool, you can like really see it's got that ocean vibe to it, even with the brown, the tan color. And then of course there's more out there that you guys can connect with, like celestite and some others. So now we're going to continue, and we're going to talk about ascended masters and archangels, and we're going to talk in depth about each one so you guys can get an understanding of what the archetype is and how you can consciously interact with it to use its specific traits, so to say.
Step into a sacred space of nature, wisdom, and community at the Ascended Masters Nature Retreat, August 15th to 17th. That's the power of connecting with Ascended Masters in a supportive community. If you're seeking that kind of profound spiritual experience, join us for the Ascended Masters Nature Retreat this August 15th through 17th in the beautiful Zaleski State Forest near Hocking Hills, Ohio. This 3-day camping retreat, hosted by Marcus, ChristoLight of Sacred Light, offers a unique opportunity to connect with the energies of Ascended Masters, including Saint Germain, Kuan Yin, Yeshua, El Morya, and more. Participate in flow shops focused on mind-body-emotion alignment, crystal healing, and working with different rays or flames of light. Enjoy the Nature Center, beach and lake activities, and hiking trails during your free time. All plant-based meals are provided. Tickets: 1 day for $55, 2 days for $99, or all 3 days for $122. Register now with the link in the description or visit Sacred Light Retreats. Spaces are limited. Questions? Text Marcus ChristoLight at 513-238-5580.
So yep, first time ever, I'll be hosting a Nature Ascended Masters Retreat here in Ohio by Hocking Hills area. You guys can sign up starting today, and it'll be the weekend of August 15th. We'll be doing some Ascended Master workshops, learning in depth about the rays of light, how to connect with them, experiencing practitioner-led spaces where you get to really experience violet flame energy, blue ray energy, gold ray energy, Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, Yeshua, and learn in depth how to learn and study through these different Ascended Master aspects of our consciousness. All the meals are provided, camping space. We're in the middle of the state forest, and we have a nice, beautiful public lake that is clean and swimmable as well. So I look forward to that, and ask questions if you need to. All right, so now we're going to talk about some blue ray guides, Ascended Masters that we can connect with. So the first ray, the blue ray. So I'm just going to go over a couple of these, not all of them, because there's quite a few. But we have El Morya. El Morya is the main representative when it comes to the Ascended Masters of the Blue Ray. Then we have Melchizedek. I'm sure some of us have heard of Melchizedek in some type of fashion, but the original Melchizedekian Blue Ray lineage line is a very prominent spiritual lineage that is very, very prominent in our reality. And that's why there's the Order of Melchizedek. We hear about Melchizedek in even religious texts and other forms as well. So Moses is also a part of the Blue Ray. Osiris as well. And even Poseidon. So Poseidon is also a representative of the Blue Ray. And then we have Archangel Metatron. Archangel Metatron is actually a little bit further developed than Archangel Michael when it comes to the roles of the angels and archangels. And I'll actually go ahead and take a moment and let you guys learn a little bit about Archangel Metatron in depth, so you guys can get a real understanding of who Archangel Metatron is, how we can consciously connect with him, and utilize his carrying of this first ray of light into our human life.
Metatron is an angelic figure from the Jewish tradition. According to angelology, he belongs to the seraphim, figures who are at the top of the celestial hierarchy. Therefore, they are the closest to God. There is no consensus regarding the meaning of his name. The absence of the suffix "el" in his name, as in Raphael and Gabriel, is unique. As a seraphim, Metatron is often depicted with 3 pairs of wings. He is the prince of the seraphim, and the others must respect his authority. He is also sometimes considered the most powerful of the archangels. Metatron is the only celestial figure allowed to stand beside the Creator. For this reason, he is considered to be God's spokesman. He is the most powerful of all the angels, even stronger than Michael, the warrior archangel who defeated Lucifer and his hosts when they tried to rebel against the Creator. One of his missions is to serve as an intermediary between God and man. He is also in charge of commanding the other celestial beings. Metatron is the coordinator and supervisor of the activities of the other angels and archangels. Although he is the only figure with unrestricted access to the Creator's throne, he does not forward the supplications and requests of the believers to God. The most famous reference to Metatron is in the Talmud, a collection of texts and sacred books in Rabbinic Judaism. When Rabbi Elisha ben Abuya was allowed to enter heaven, he came across the glow of Metatron sitting there. He even thought that there were 2 authorities in heaven, God and Metatron. Metatron was struck 60 times by a flaming staff. This showed that, despite his high position, he was below the figure of the Creator. The heavenly figure is also referenced in the book of Enoch. According to some interpretations, Enoch, father of Methuselah, became the angel closest to the Lord. On the other hand, Metatron is called the angel of life and death because of his enormous influence on the tree of life of the Jewish Kabbalah. The name Metatron is not expressly written in the Bible, but according to some traditions, Metatron was the angel who fought against Jacob, who wished to be blessed before his reunion with his brother Esau. The greatest of all angels is also said to have had the job of punishing the Egyptians by imposing on them the famous 10 plagues described in the book of Exodus. Supporters of Hebrew mysticism use the Metatron cube, a sacred geometric structure composed of 13 circles. It is used as an instrument of protection and also to understand reality. Although not as recognizable an angelic figure as the 3 great archangels Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael, Metatron plays an important role beside the throne of the Lord, serving as the divine scribe and recording all the deeds and sins of man. As the most powerful celestial figure standing only below God, Metatron is one of the most respected angels by those interested in angelology.
Okay. So that is Archangel Metatron in that type of exclamation for you guys. And you guys can connect the Archangel Metatron anytime through the mental realms of our consciousness. So that's a little bit about his purpose and the way that you can utilize the energies that are brought forward through the archetype. So then we're going to continue. And we already talked about Archangel Michael briefly a little bit towards the first half. So we're going to talk about Ascended Master Al Moria. So Al Moria is the most significant Ascended Master that will come up when it comes to this first ray, the blue ray of light. And Al Moria, we're just going to go over this together. The affirmation that they put here that you can use to help connect with him is the affirmation, I am the will of God. So I am the will of God. the more you say that, and the more that you put that feeling and that emotion, that emphasis of truth in it, the more you vibrationally start to project this energy, not only out into the world, but also into the embodiment of your mind, body, emotions, due to that frequency reverberating through you. So a little bit about El Morya. He was the embodiment as a human being as Abraham. He was the first Hebrew patriarch, Melchior. He is one of the three wise men, King Arthur. He is the guru of the mystery school at Camelot. Thomas Becket, Archbishop of Canterbury. Sir Thomas More, the man for all seasons. Akbar the Great, founder of the Mughal Empire in India, in the greatest of its rulers, Thomas More, the Irish poet. In about 1898, after his work with the Master K.H. in founding the Theosophical Society, El Morya has served timelessly with Saint Germain in the cause of world and individual freedom, training public servants to externalize the will of God through God government on earth. Now, when it says God government, it's talking about that balance of God and government on earth. And it's, having the God's will first with the government of earth. Where today it's now government over God. And when I mean God, again, we're talking about source, creator, the divine, Allah, however you want to describe it, the all-permeating force. Spirituality, he's the Kohan of the first ray, working to bring leadership skills for light workers to help them to speak out and become a divine teacher from source. He brings through faith, focus, direction, and courage, bringing through the force of God into the body to bring strong channeling abilities into our lives. He also brings forth great motivation through the mind and spirit from soul lifetimes, encouraging you to accept that nothing is too hard. Don't let fear of limitations hold you back. And that is Ascended Master El Morya, Kohan of the Blue First Ray. All right. So I know we had mentioned before when we talked about the blue flame, we talked about the Syrians a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and bring a little bit up about Sirius as well. Just because Sirius is just one of those wonderful things to learn about when it comes to healing and channeling. Let me see here. So we're going to talk more so about blue ray beings as a whole. So who are the blue ray beings? A blue ray being is one who monad ray is ray 1. So this is the spark from God first leaves the source, coming into will. These ray 1 beings are alone, stand apart and isolated, very powerful, full connected with extremely overwhelming contract plans, are born in hugely challenging countries, homes, and environments. But in addition, if their birth is in blue ray 1 countries, they are the leaders of the 7th root race, yet to be recognized on Earth. Moreover, as you know, most humans on Earth are seeded from some planet in the galaxy. Most are from the Pleiades. However, the blue ray 1 beings are exclusively from Sirius. They are the I Am race. Most souls do not live in Sirius, with the exception of the lion beings and the feline cat race, but hold important memberships in the lodges of Sirius, the Blue Lodge of the creative blue light of God, and the Great Light Lodge of Sirius, and are teachers of the higher universities of learning that are located in Sirius. Some hold portfolios of high priests and priestesses in the Temple of Illumination, the ray, too, of love, light, illumination, enlightenment, and truth, the yellow ray. The High Lords of Karma from the Milky Way galaxy are based in Sirius. These extraordinary blue beings are unusually protected by the Lords, Kohan, archangels, Elohims, and hierarchs of its fire, its elemental ether and akasha of the Ray One. They need divine protection for the dangerous magnetic environment they are thrown into, all through and for the huge voltages of light they carry that by itself serves as a inconceivable magnet that draws all darkness into its folds for transfiguration. These beings carry the violet fire in their aura and are powerful alchemists that are constantly transmuting through their sheer presence in a place. This being a reason they travel a lot, and behind them are lit trails of chaos as their footprints recede from the place. It's like automative purging wherever they are. They live alone and later in life withdraw from people, family, relationships. Why? Or else their light that is hugely sucked, moreover they are, and with whomever they may be, would shut off eventually. They also magnetize a lot of jealousy, envy, condemnation from near and far, people who cannot understand their powers, their wisdom, their divine protection, and begin to fear it and eventually shun it. They need protection all the time, and so much protection all the time from the masters, it is almost not possible. So they are kept alone, yet in duality, living in society, interacting with people like normal beings. They work mostly through the quietness of their protective domain, internet, writing, relating more through technology than in person. They hide their true identity, and they must. These strong Blu-ray ones are the light holders, the light showers, who hold the light pillars inside their bodies and become the alchemists of the automative violet fire itself, upon the shoulders of which Earth is calibrating into the light. These beings have sacrificed their bodies at the altar of light. These beings have been a part of the creators of the planet and laid the root seed of our present civilization in Chem, the Egyptian and Aryan race of the sixth root. The qualities of the Ray One are will of God, power of God, protection of God, nobility, regality, integrity, and responsibility. The Ray has leadership qualities and therefore embraces politics and political hands. All disciples of the Ray One are trained in perfection of leadership by Lord El Moria. The symbol of the blue ray and Lord El Moria's identity symbol is the blue diamond, and his retreat is above Darjeeling in the Himalayas of India. It is very important for them to realize at all times that they are not alone. Who they have with them are the highest hierarchical masters of the light, and that they have come in this lifetime solely for the mission of ending the experiment, for dissolving the empire through not obliteration this time, just like Atlantis and Lemuria, but through alchemical mutation and purification. The reason why they have the violet fire in their bodies and auras, underlined to this explanation and the fact that the Ray One is intrinsically connected to Ray 7, the violet ray. Thoth, Sheshet, Akhenaten, and the second anonymous wife, Kaya, are Ray One beings. Ankh, the symbol of immortality, their mascot, is the mascot of Ray One too, along with the blue diamond, the symbol of Lord El Moria's office of Ray One. Beautiful. And again, I'll be linking you guys with these resources in the description, so you guys will have it after this. Just give me a moment, like right after this, when I shut it off, and I'll put them in the description for you guys. So yeah, that's a very, very nice laid out menu for you guys of different kind of guides, ascended masters, angels, crystals that you guys can connect with when it comes to the blue ray and how to enhance and develop more of that into your personal life. Then, of course, we talked about the throat chakra as well. And using the throat chakra singing bowl as well. So with all of that, I would like to give us a beautiful message from the Magical Dimensions Oracle. And the Magical Dimensions Oracle has Fae cards, it has chakra cards, it has angelic cards, galactic, and elemental. Really awesome and fun combination to work with. Get a little bit of meditation music on for us. There we go. So, Magical Dimensions Oracle. And this is how we're going to kind of start closing out the space today. We're just going to close out with a beautiful message from the Magical Dimensions Oracle. And then we'll close out with a brief energy clearing, guided practice, connecting with the blue ray of light. Thank you guys all for tuning in and being a part of this wonderful space today. We'll be keeping it going tomorrow. And then it'll be next week after that. No Thursday this week because Thursday I'll be on the road to Minnesota, where I will be doing a co-opening ceremony, men's circle, holistic addiction workshop, or Frequency One Fest out in Minnesota. If you're looking for a festival, come on out. Interesting. We got 2 chakra cards that came out, and they're not the throat chakra. The first one is crown chakra. You can take in those codes if you would like. So crown chakra, divinity, unity, and separation. So I feel like right now in the collective, a lot of us may be feeling that we're getting a little bit tired of the spaces, the feelings, and the expressions that have been in our space that are just not aligning with unity, that are just not in resonance, that are not reciprocal, that just do not feel like unconditional love. It may be also lessons of where we may be overextending ourselves, where we may have fell in love with potential and we saw kindness and love, but we continue to give and give and give, but not receive reciprocation in any mental, emotional, or physical ways that help re-nourish what we're giving. And with that, that's where we just tune in and tap in. Are we in resonance? Do our timelines still continue to align? And if they don't, then they don't. And we go through our ways of cutting cords, creating new boundaries, or continuing forward in different ways. And part of that is accessing a healthy crown chakra by realizing that you are connected to the source as the source, and they are the source connected to the source, experiencing their own soul journey. And with that, it's not up to you to determine their journey. They have their own guidance, they have their own daily responses, they have their own processing. And the reason why we let go of cords or cut cords is because we have that faith, we have that trust that everything is in the divine hands. What's out of my control is being taken care of. What's in my control, I need to govern and occupy and be present with. That's having a healthy crown chakra. Then we have the sacral chakra also came up. beautiful codes on this card. So the sacral chakra, this represents creativity, intimacy, and inhibition. So I'm sure some of us may be feeling called right now to express more, to take the next step, take that leap, or continue into the next adventure of your creative passions, your gifts of service. You may be feeling like you no longer want to live the 9-to-5 life, or you may feel like you're in an opportunity where you're in the middle of your 9-to-5 and following a creative passion. And if you're in that middle point, I invite you to see this as the divine gateway, the opportunity for you to really sit with self, to analyze, to process, to download, channel your intentions in your heart, and also nurture and cultivate yourself through self-care to help get your energy and prana flowing so you can feel your passion in your lower chakras, feeling grounded through the root chakra. So then your downloads and your higher light through your upper chakras can just sink in and download, integrate. The more grounded you are, the more stable you are in your lower nature. And then you'll have your intuitive nature coming through you to help activate your skills and gifts more and more. And then you'll have a natural guidance of, okay, these are my next steps. These are the visions. These are the intentional energies I'm putting out. This is what I can do to become this Reiki practitioner. This is what I can do to start vending my services. I make herbs. I know how to make different things. What can I do to start making them? And what can I do to start getting them in containers and letting people know that it's available for them to be able to purchase? Whether it's herbs, oils, tinctures, at-home hygiene, food even. Or is it being a practitioner, an artist, a musician? Whatever it is and it's calling to you authentically, this is a brilliant time to really start stepping into enhancing, practicing, and at least just putting a little bit of effort and energy into it. Develop routines or consistency, and just know that every little step is a step to manifesting and expanding more of that into your life and through your embodiment. So even the littlest things consistently build momentum, even more than doing one big thing and then not doing it again. So it doesn't matter how small or how big, but as long as we're mentally, emotionally, or physically doing something to fuel those visions and passions, then it's going to continue to happen for us. So I'm also hearing too, boundaries. Know your boundaries in this time that we're in, and know that we're in really what we call choice points in our timelines. We're having opportunities to really step into what feels like in this human life, new opportunities, new horizons. And with that, there are things that we got to be accountable for. We got to let go of things that keep us vibrationally from moving into that. And then we also have to be willing to embrace, embody, and receive more of the love and light that will accelerate us into that frequency as well. So clear those cords, create those boundaries, give yourself the love, the practices, the routines. Continue to put yourself around those that give you self-love, that give you respect, that actually are reciprocal. Show up. Don't bring their problems onto you unwarranted. Let go of the past relationships, past things. And if you need assistance with it, please reach out. I am a devoted shamanic quantum level practitioner for over 10 years now. And I'm only 30 years old. My whole adulthood has been this. And this is what I devote my life to. So if you really do want to dive deep with someone that can guide you into how to use your own power and then give you tools to step forward and move forward with, please reach out. I'm here for you. You guys can also join my retreat spaces as well, as my retreats are beautiful opportunities for that. And you can also be in a group setting and meet new community as well. But we have the crown chakra, remembering our source connection, letting go of anything outside of those distortions, and the sacral power, stepping up and amplifying our creativity and passions and letting go of what is interfering and diluting that. So, that being said, let's go ahead and close out. Go ahead and get yourself a little comfortable if you would like. Feel free to grab a blue stone. Go ahead and hold it on your throat center. Use either hand, however you feel. Relax your shoulders, relax your body, relax your jaw. Begin to focus on the breath, breathing in through the nose, breathing out of the mouth, breathing in through the nose, drawing it through the throat, and breathing out of the mouth. Breathing in. And out. I'm just going to go ahead and channel a little bit of light language from Metatron for us to connect with. And in this light language, we are setting the intention of reconfiguring, balancing, and activating any part of our throat center in our blueprint that is out of balance with our highest and most organic, truest self. Continuing to breathe on your own through the throat chakra as I channel Metatron's codes for you to receive at your own free will. One ka na nuya shene maya kuto mana ya kuna na de mokona ya ki anata ona ya kai na ko na de maya kona ka yanata ya na ya shuna na kuto ki na ya na to ma mia na shikte kote ya mata yena koto na ti na suto no na chite. Breathing and releasing fear from our system. Fear being seen, being heard. Fear of our energy being too much. Breathing it out. Remembering we are worthy and valuable with our expressions. Breathing out any insecurities of sharing our art, music, or creative expressions. Remembering that our vulnerability shares wisdom and empowerment for others on this earth. And finally, releasing and letting go of any parts of our ego that is in the way of allowing the purification and the unconditional love of God's will to be present and balanced in our force. I am embodying grace. I am embodying discipline. I am embodying integrity. I allow free will for all, and I trust the divine journey. Ashe. When you're ready, you may come forward and open your eyes. Continue into your physical life in this now moment as we close out. Thank you guys again for joining me. I am Marcus ChristoLight of Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. Reach out questions. If you would like to join for any retreats, let me know. I'd love to see you guys there. You guys can visit the website listen.to/sacredlight33. Or actually, I should say listen.to/sacredlightretreats. And you guys can go directly there to see all the retreats. Click on whichever one you'd like and register to sign up. There's the site right there. You gotta add those periods. And here's what it looks like for you guys. You just scroll down, you can see all the retreats right there. You just click on whichever one you want to join, and it'll take you straight to the register form. And then I get your register, and then we go from there. All right. Thank you guys all for joining me. Reach out if you have questions. I will see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, for Grand Rising with ChristoLight as we journey into the second ray, which is going to be the yellow ray. See you guys then. Tune in later on today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time as Sandy Marshall out of California will be live for Soul Awakening with Sandra, as she'll be talking about the law of action. It'll be a good one. Produced by myself, Marcus ChristoLight.
Are you ready to step into alignment with your soul's purpose and take a real tangible step forward towards your highest potential? Join me for part 4 of the Soul Awakening podcast series, Embodying the Universal Laws, where we deep dive into one of the most powerful principles of manifestation, the law of action. This Tuesday, July 22nd at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will explore how divine inspiration requires courageous movement and how action becomes the bridge between your dreams and your reality. Tune in live on YouTube, bring your journal, and prepare to activate the path that's been waiting for you to walk. Subscribe and set your reminder. Transformation begins with one action. Join me.
All right. See you guys. One love.
(2023) Mother Gaia, third dimensional planet, ascending. Thank you from the Sacred Light Broadcast Network and Sacred Light Productions for tapping in and tuning in to all live and replay content, holistic, conscious, for your empowerment. Tap in to the Christ light within. Please like, share, and subscribe. And remember that you are the one that you have been looking for. Enjoy this content. If you would like to collaborate or receive production through myself, Marcus ChristoLight, direct message or email me at marcustut23@gmail.com to discuss details. Wholeness and balanced love. Ashe.